like it was so long ago.
I know. I'm not used to this. I miss you.
I know. I missed you too. Adam's going, me too. I miss you too. He says.
Can you see? He's like right here over my shoulder.
Yep. Cool.
Yep, I found this photo of him, and I thought, you know what, that'd be totally fun, because it already had a hole in it right here at the top.
Oh, okay.
And I've got this little flower arrangement behind me that I made for my sister's memorial service, and I just stuck him on the end of a little branch right here. I figured he could just hang out behind us, just over your shoulder.
There you go. He's going, hell yeah.
Love you, Adam. So glad to see both of you.
He's saying, I love you too, Mama, very, very, very much.
Aww.
He's saying, no, today's going to be a little bit special, because
Really?
he's saying, we've got Ray Charles, and he wants to talk about something that lays dear to our hearts.
Okay.
In every single human being and in every single living entity. And he really wants to talk about love.
Let's hear about love, Ray. And thank you so much for coming.
He's saying, you're welcome, baby.
He called me baby.
He's laughing. He's got such a calm energy, though. It's all like, all at its own pace. Everything's fine.
I love that.
He's saying, you know, when we look at life, he says, love can come in different shapes and forms and sizes. But we all yearn for it, he says. We all long for it.
Yeah.
But he says, when we look at people, even in my life, he says, most of us have been confused about love. Most of us have that question, what is love? Our whole lives. Do we really experience it, or did I not?
Yeah.
So many questions surround the subject love. And it can really blossom a person. It can create an intense sense of love, but it can also destroy a person, he says. So when we look at love, he says, love is extremely powerful. And that's why we long for it so much. It's the frequency, the energy that is attached to it, that makes us feel whole, that makes us feel complete.
Right.
He says, in fact, if you look at people's lives, we're always kind of looking for a source of love that can't be taken away from us anymore. We always hold on to it. Once we have it, we want to keep it forever and ever.
Right.
And he says, you know, some of us may have grown up feeling unloved. Some of us believe that in order to receive love, we have to perform, or we have to accomplish certain things or prove ourselves to others. And he says, you know, when we look at how the image of love is being created in our minds, you know, it's being shaped by parents. It's being shaped by people we know. It's being shaped by movies and books and songs. And so in a way, he says we get this distorted picture of what love is supposed to be for us.
Right.
So he says, if you look at history, he said, after years and years and years of pictures and images and influences who told us what love is supposed to feel like and what love is supposed to look like and how it should be experienced, we've actually let it influence us we let it influence us and the way that we experience it now. So it's almost like he's trying to say that over centuries, love, or the idea of love, has kind of been changed even deep inside our DNA. And that's why in this time zone, in this time frame that we are now, a lot of us are feeling lost and not feeling that love. We're not feeling that connection. And it feels like he's trying to say that it comes through years and years and years of distortion of what love really is.
Okay.
So he's saying, if you look at teachers, like our parents or other sources, he's saying, teachers tell us that our essence is love, right? Mm-hmm. And he's saying, others say that, well, love is passion, and others say, well, love is like, it leads to addiction. It leads to clinging on to people. It leads to not being able to let go, to become possessive. Mm-hmm. And then you also have the love that's more like devotional, you fall in love with God. And in a way, you let that love grow until it becomes us and we become one with that God, So in a way, again, we're not experiencing love for us, but we're experiencing love for somebody else. So he's saying the truth is love and our experience and understanding of love will always be different according to our own perception of it. That's the truth, he says. What I can tell you is that love is the source of everything. Love connects us, it unifies us, and love is pure consciousness. So that means that because of consciousness, if love is pure consciousness, he says, he kind of goes from back and forth. It's kind of confusing for me, but he says, when you can see and understand that love is pure consciousness, then that means that love is everywhere, in everybody, and in everything at all times, because everything has a consciousness, everything has a frequency, and therefore love is at all times within everybody. He says it's like love is kind of woven into the fabric of the universe, which of course central being. So most of us get glimpses of this love, and sometimes in our lives, sometimes in nature, or with a partner, or when we're bonding with our children, we really feel that intense connection to love, and those intense experiences with love will always be remembered. Those will be they'll be put in your memory bank, and those kind of emotions can deeply change our lives. And he's saying, another thing that humans do is, and he says, I'm guilty of that one, we constantly project our feelings of love, and these feelings really come from within, but we project them upon others or upon specific things. Like some people say, well, my love was the music.
Yeah.
This is what I to say, it was the music, that was my love. Or, the way that my mom helped me and raised me, that was my love right there. So we kind of take our inner love, because really, the love didn't come from the music, the love didn't come from mom, it came from within, but we projected upon others and upon other things. So, what we're doing is we're kind of giving away ownership of our self-love. And then when we start over-analyzing love, he says, with our minds, we begin to specify love and restrict it, and we start limiting it. So we create this limited view of love, and it becomes distorted by our own thoughts and feelings, he says. And we start to think that love comes and goes, and that we can feel... Some people think, we can feel only love for certain people, for our soulmates or for our children, or some people think there's not enough love to go around, we're constantly limiting love by our own fears, by our own wrong perceptions of what love really is, and our senses and our mind and even our ego give us the experience that and lets us believe that love is outside of us, and that some people some people deserve more love than others, she says. People really think that. People really have that idea, like, I don't deserve that love, or that person really deserves it more than I do, and a lot of people also think there's different kinds of love. They say, oh, well, there's the love of the mother, or you have a romantic love, or oh, I love movies, or I love music, or, I love nature. You have compassionate love. We really categorize all these different kinds, but really it's all one. It's really all one love. The reality is that love connects us all. It unifies us. But as long as we think that love comes from outside of us, as long as we depend on the idea that I need to find it somewhere in order to feel it, then we're always going to experience pain in life. We're always going to feel like we're lacking love. And a lack of love separates your true nature. He says you have to understand that you are a spiritual being whose essence is unconditional love. That's what you exist from. Our essence, our soul, is 100% pure, unconditional love. And by denying that in your human form, by saying you don't deserve it, by saying there are limitations to love, by saying, well, there's different kinds of love, by restricting yourself and putting up boundaries and barriers on love, you actually separate yourself from your true nature. You separate yourself from who you are. And that's why we feel lost. That's why we feel so lonely. That's why we feel separated from everybody and everything. So in order to connect to the source of love, he says, we need to start with accepting that how different people we are, no matter how different we are from animals or plants or from, our bosses or our girlfriends. We all have different views of life, and we all are very unique in our experiences and in our feelings. But if we can accept that we're all from the same source, and if we can accept that we're all connected with one another, even with that boss that you just want to shoot out the door, he says, we're still connected, people. And he says if we can remove those feelings, he's making a joke. If we can things of separation, and if we can understand and accept, he says, that every single one of us is a spiritual being with unconditional love, then you will start by finding that love inside of you. And when that starts growing, then you will notice that the universe will send you more love. It will send you more loving connections with others, but also with your environment around you, with animals, with plants. And when we do that, when we can find that peace, that, hey, I love myself because I'm being loved by the universe, then you'll never feel alone. And you'll never need outside love to confirm that you are loved. But you will be able to share it, your love, with other people's love, he says, with 100% respect for the other person and 100% compassion for the other person. And when we can share love on that basics, that's what creates a better world. That's what creates an environment that's nurturing, caring, and loving around you. So people, it starts from within, he says. Don't look from outside of you. Start within. And if you create that self-love, then love will be all around you. So that's what I want to say.
So become it, and you will attract it.
Exactly. It's about sending out that vibration that you are loved, because you are. Yeah, even if you don't feel it, he says, even if you're having doubts, send it out anyway. There will come a time where you start feeling it, where you align with that frequency, and then you will attract more of that. He says, when I look at my life, I experienced love in all different shapes and forms. I loved my mama. Mm-hmm. I loved my brother. I loved a lot of women. And I loved my music. But then, does that make all these different kinds of love, does that make them different? No, because it all came from the universal language of what we are built from, what we are made of. Uh-huh. Is one love better than the other? No. They're all valuable and they are all priceless. And so stop judging. He says, a lot of people judge certain loves, oh, well, that's not right, or this is not right, or, he says, don't judge love. Love will always be valuable and will always be needed in any way, shape, or form. Respect that the other people might not need the kind of love that you want. Okay. And they may be needing a different kind of love. So love will adjust to your frequency, to what your need is. So don't separate it, don't divide it, and just accept it, that as long as we have love within ourselves, then we can unite, he says, as beings. We can unite as entities, and create a more enlightened environment.
I love it. That's a great message, Ray.
You think, I know.
His energy, Emma, his energy is so powerful that when you move back and forth, or it looks like one of the transitions in iMovie where I think it's like a mosaic where it pixelates and then comes back together. I've been using Reiki symbols down here below the screen. Sometimes you'll see me going, I'm transmuting energy. I'm smoothing it with my hands down below, and I'm playing with it. It's amazing how much energy is on your side of the screen. It's going to be interesting to see what it looks like, when we're actually looking at it later. He's got some powerful energy he's bringing through. It's beautiful.
Yeah, his energy feels very strong, but very grounded, very connected with souls, and he feels and Adam says he loves hanging out with him, because it's almost he says, you don't take this the wrong way, but it's almost like having this grandfather figure who is your teacher, and who loves you unconditionally, he says. And when you're around him, he says, Mom, when you come home, we'll hang out with him. Okay. When you're around him, you immediately feel this peace. You immediately feel this balance that he kind of projects. And he's saying, he's saying, Mom, if you look at his life, it wasn't easy. It was not an easy life, but still, the way that he handled it, the way that he healed himself over time, it took time. Right. Eh? He says, Ray says, a lot of time.
Hear that, people. It does take time. Hear it. There's hope. That's what we have time for, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he's saying, Mom, it took time to heal, and it took time for him to find his peaceful state in his life. And as long as you accept your journey to that peace, and as long as you can find love in that journey, whether it's ups or downs, there is no judgment, he says. But if you can find love and understanding that, well, I went through that because this and this led to it, and I had to emotionally learn to adjust to it, and I had to emotionally accept that it was a hard time. If you can accept yourself and your journey, then you will find that peace within yourself. And that's what Ray did. He says, he went through a lot. He went through the loss of his brother. He went through, losing his sight. He went through poverty. He went through drugs and detoxing and all of that, and relationship problems. And, there were so many things that defined him. But when you look at him, he says, you can see the beauty that all of that created. And he says, for everybody who's watching, it takes time for that flower to blossom.
It does.
Okay? We all need the mud. We all need the mud. So be patient with yourself. Love yourself. That is the message, he says, that me and Ray want to project to people. We are too critical about everything in our lives. And so when we are in that state of mind, we overlook the things that we do have. Be appreciative for what you have. Even if it's, hey, I got a roof over my head, I get to eat today. Be appreciative for the little things that are already in your life. And when you send that out, again, appreciation is love, okay? You're sending that out to the universe. And then the only thing you can do is wait and receive the love back that you're sending out to the universe. The universe will always give you back what you send out. So
beautiful.
Have faith in yourself, he says. Have faith in yourself that the struggles that we go through have a beautiful purpose. The struggles that we go through will teach you to love yourself, and it will teach you to open up to new possibilities and new doors and new directions. That's what it does. Don't see a disappointment or a closing of a door as an end, but see it as a new beginning, because it will always lead to a new door, he says. It will always lead to a new opportunity. And that's the key. That's where the patience comes in, and that's where the self-love comes in.
That's a beautiful message. I'm so glad that you have somebody like Ray to hang out with there, Adam. Ray, what do you think of my boy? People are asking about you, Adam. I'm getting lots and lots of comments. They're like, we want to know about Adam.
Well, Ray is saying he's an incredible young man who has an old soul, is what I would call it. Doesn't really exist, he says, an old soul. Yeah. But it's a way of expressing that his roots go deep, he says. He has that soul that, that's pretty similar to me, he says. That's why we get along very well. We have a very deep passion for expressing love and for expressing emotions. He's saying, I think the whole world needs to discover who Adam is, because he will bring forth a message that staying true to oneself is the key to success, but also the key to happiness. And what Adam will express is that it's okay to be you. It's okay to be different. And it's okay to be a goofball.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it's all about. And it doesn't matter whether you're an extrovert or an introvert. It doesn't matter if you're a more serious type or a goofball like Adam, he says. It's all about respecting yourself. Okay, well, I'm like this, and I am 100% okay with that. It's about accepting who you are, he says, and Adam will teach people that. He will bring forth people who can testify that, life isn't always easy, but that doesn't mean that it can't be beautiful. And that doesn't mean that you can't feel good in it. It's all about your own perception. And that's the messages that Adam will come make through and pass on to people. So I'm glad, he says, that I know, I'm glad that I know and get to know Adam every day a little bit more. And I'm proud, he says, that what he is doing is going to help so many people. He says, you should be very proud, Mama.
Oh, I am. I'm busting my buttons proud over this kid. He's incredible. He was incredible when he was alive, but he, didn't get to live his truth. And it's beautiful to hear him tell, how to do it right from the other side,
Adam says, you know what? The good thing is we never really stop evolving. So either way, when you think you're coming over here and you're coming home and taking a vacation, you're still growing, you're still learning, you're still experiencing. So that never ends. So you might as well enjoy your life, and you might as well experience it to the fullest. Challenge yourself, he says, to dare to feel. Challenge yourself to dare to explore and grow, because that's why we're here. He says, don't take life so seriously. Okay? We make things a lot harder for ourselves than they really are. But if we just, he's saying, put on a Superman cape and a thing, it's so crazy outside, he says, fuck what other people think of you. Screw them. Love them, but screw them. He says, it's about what you feel. It's about what you want to do. Yeah. That's what we need to do more, and that's where human, the human existence will eventually evolve to. People doing what they love, not people doing what they're forced to do, or people doing what they need to do in order to survive. It's going to be more directed into, hey, what's your interest? What do you love to do? What would you like to do? And then people helping you in finding your way in that, finding a purpose for you and something that you love doing. So people won't choose careers anymore out of, that makes good money. So many people choose a career because it's financially beneficial, but what they don't do with love. They don't do with passion. And so a lot of negative things can flow out of that. A lot of, bad experiences can flow from that. He says, if everybody would choose a career that they love and that they're passionate about, you would also see better results, more productive work, and you would see the happiness in people rise. And that's where we're going for. That's what we want to accomplish. And there are certain countries who have found a way to actually have that effect. He says, if you look at Denmark, he's saying, they have a system there where everybody makes the same amount of money. Okay? The more money you make, the more you get taxed. The less money you make, the less you get taxed. So that means that a doctor and a cleaning lady make the same amount of money. So therefore, they are no longer choosing their profession based on, the financial, based on outside happiness, but they're actually basing their choices on, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? What's my passion? Where do I see myself go in the future? Their perspective is different, and you get better doctors because they're doing it because they want to help people. They love doing it. They're not just doing it for the money. I'm not saying, he says, that every doctor does it for the money, okay? But there are a few people who do, or a few people want to be lawyers because it makes good money, or et cetera, et cetera. You create an environment where people get to stay who they are. They don't have to change in order to benefit in society, and they find love and passion inside of them, and that creates inner happiness. That creates an energy frequency that spreads out to the people around them as well. And that's why you have results where they are being claimed as the happiest country in the world. That's where it comes from. It comes from giving people the option to make choices based on love and passion, not based on how do I survive the best in this world.
Absolutely.
That's where it comes from, he says. So do the same for you. Don't choose something because it's easy. Don't choose something because it makes living very comfortably and wealthy. Choose something. Whatever you want to do in your career, do it with passion. So many people are looking for a job that, if you can, let me say it this way, if you can turn your hobby into your job,
yes,
you're set. You will be happy. You won't have that day where you go, oh, I gotta go to work. I don't like this and I don't like that. And, that's what brings people down as well. And if you look at it, and he's saying Ray agrees with me on that, because Ray did what he loved.
Yes.
He followed his heart, he says, that he's a good example on that one. But he's saying when you follow what you love and you inject that into your career, the rest of your life won't be such a struggle, because you won't have that daily struggle of doing something that you hate. Mm-hmm. You're here in such a short amount of time. It may feel like an eternity to some people. But trust me, from our perspective, it's a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And he says, in that time frame that you are giving, use your time beneficial for you. There's no point in wasting your time for years in doing something that you hate. It's just a waste of time, and you will regret it at the end of your life. Don't regret your decisions. Even if they were not so beneficial to you, be proud that you were able to make a decision. Be proud that sometimes those bad decisions led to extreme growth within yourself. You need to always be proud of yourself, and that's where self-love kicks in. Have self-respect. Don't judge yourself. Don't bring yourself down. Don't criticize yourself. All that leads to is constant pain, he says.
Makes perfect sense. You can always make a different decision, right?
Exactly. Don't ever feel like you're stuck, because really you can never be stuck in life. Why? Because your thinking creates your outcome. So if you continuously tell yourself, I'm stuck, and you identify with that frequency, then guess what? You're going to be stuck.
You're stuck.
Not because you're stuck, but because you're telling yourself you're stuck. The universe is never stuck. The universe is constantly evolving and growing and changing. Futures are constantly changing. Certain things might be set in your future, but it can constantly change by the way that you think about it, by the way that you see yourself. So if you're feeling stuck, unstick yourself, he says, He's like a Band-Aid. You just go real fast, he says,
Go real fast and it won't hurt.
It won't hurt if you do it fast, he says. Make choices. If you're stuck, start changing your way of making choices. He says, nobody else is going to be able to fix your problem but yourself. You need to decide that, it's not working for me in this life. Whatever I'm doing isn't working, so I need to go in a different direction. Make that decision. What do you got to lose? Nothing.
Absolutely. And all you have to do is change that much. I mean, I'm like making a hair's width between my fingers. You change that much and you're going to a different place. Change that much, you're going to a different place. So it's like Albert Einstein said to us, it's about making the same choice twice, right? Make a different choice, make a better choice for you, and just keep making that same one. And keep in mind that we chose our challenges. We're like, what do I need to improve on? Oh, I need to learn a little bit more about that. So you put some of that in your path. So you're not supposed to sit there and have a pity party when it happens. You're supposed to process it and move through it. Pity, pity, pity.
Now he's just walking around like a Native American going,
well, you know what? That's not a bad thing to do, because the process of jumping up and down, I mean, there is something inherently within our DNA that when we bounce on our feet and we jump up and down, that is why there's so much of that in tribal dancing and rites. It does something to us. It raises our vibes. There's a reason to dance, folks. Get up and act like a fool. Nobody's looking, or if they are, act like they're not.
He's saying if they are, just ignore them.
There you go.
And say, Mama, you're so right. You know, dancing was, you know, it came from, you know, it's to release certain energies that we are stuck with. You know, if you're having a bad day, put some happy music on and just go wild, he says. You know, there's so much energetic release. He says, I don't know how else to say it, but there's so much energetic release when we go a little crazy, you know. Or he says, you know, that's why a lot of people, you know, they go jogging and they feel better.
Yeah.
Because they can clear their mind. They can release that energy. You know, they're just being focused on the one thing. Same thing with dancing. When we dance, we not only energetically release the stress. Why? Because we're moving and our muscles are moving. We're also, you know, our heart starts racing. And so we actually get more oxygen into our system as well. And because we're dancing, we're focusing on dancing and not on the problems and the stress. So again, in a way, dancing can be like a meditative, like an active meditation. Sure. You know, it puts your awareness in just you, your body, and the music. And that takes away, you know, all the stress and all the worries. So yeah, go crazy, he says. I know I used to do.
There we go. Put on Prince's song. Let's go crazy. Come on, you know, we'll dance with Prince. There you go. Let's go crazy.
You know, this is what Ray is saying. Ray is saying, I remember when I would play certain songs, people would go crazy. Yeah. And people would stand up and they'd be dancing. And he says, I couldn't see them. But man, could I feel them, he says. But man, could I feel them. I could feel their energy.
Sure.
And, you know, that's how I knew that everybody was going crazy. I could sense the energy. Yeah. And, you know, he's saying, that's how I knew that the universe is it's all energy. I could see without seeing, he says. Sure. Some people would get scared because they were like, how do you know I'm smiling? I could sense that smile. I could sense the different energies in people. And that was one of my greatest greatest things, he says, greatest gifts is that I didn't need my eyes to see. I just needed my feelings. And everybody needs that. Everybody needs to use their feelings to connect with one another and to connect with the energies around you. And when you do that, you'll not only connect with the people who are still alive, but also with the people who are in a different dimension. You will feel them around you. You will feel them hugging you when you're having a bad day or when you're crying. You know, be aware of the energy that surrounds us at all times. And when you do, you'll start noticing little differences like, that feels a little different. It's all about putting your awareness in the things that you can't see, he says. You don't have to be blind to feel it, he says. It's all about being aware of the little tiny changes of temperature, of pressure, of you know, feeling a little breeze that passes by you while there's no wind outside. Those are energies who are constantly evolving around you and passing you by. Do that, he says, you know, be aware of that. And he says, you can even do an experiment. Close your eyes. If you're somewhere where there's a lot of dancing going on, close your eyes and don't think about what does it look like, but think about what does it feel like. Absorb that positive energy, because when people dance, there's so much positivity that comes out of them. That energy, you know, it overwhelms you. That's why I went crazy. That's why I went all over the place, because I can feel. I can feel them.
It's awesome.
He's saying, he's saying the universe is so spectacularly made. It's a perfect glued blueprint, he says, and people only see flaws. Well, there aren't any. Don't see flaws, he says.
Yeah.
Only see growth and evolution. If you can see that, then you will also always see beauty around you. He says, I couldn't see, but I could feel beauty around me, and I could also feel sadness, he says, but mostly beauty, he says.
So, Ray, what was your sole purpose? You came in having chosen to be blind, is that correct?
He says that was part of my contract. He's saying it was all about self-acceptance. It was about finding my own identity without having to trust on certain without having to trust on certain senses, he says. It was about finding myself. He says it was about finding myself, finding my own identity, but also finding my purpose, why I was here. Because for a very long time, I wasn't sure about that. I followed my heart and I followed what I loved, but for a very long time, I wasn't sure if my music was serving others, he says.
Okay.
I think it was, at the beginning, it was mostly serving me. It had to do with ego.
Okay.
I came into the music thing to heal myself. Then it turned into ego. And then I had to learn to let the ego go. I had to learn to see the beauty in what my music was doing to others, and that I really didn't have that big of a part in it. It was more of the universe speaking through me to spread healing through music, he says. That was what it was about. It was about me healing, about finding my own identity, and about healing others with the music. I always kind of thought that the music that came into my mind didn't really come from me, but it came from something larger than me. And now I know that that is true. I needed to bring some change. It's almost like he changed music, is what he's saying. He changed the way that people experienced music, is what he's making me feel. He's saying my music would go through the heart, straight through your bones. You could feel it all through your body. And back then, it was still kind of tricky, he says. When I first started, music was still very restricted. It needed to be safe and appropriate. I brought heart and soul into music, he says, and I touched that people in their heart and soul. And he says, I'm very proud that I had the honor to do that for people. And in that, by touching their hearts, he says, I also healed them. In that moment when they would come and would listen to me, I would heal people on a very energetic level. And he says, in that, I'm extremely proud that I chose to be that vehicle for that. And I'm also extremely proud of myself, he says. And he says, now it's not ego. It has to do with I accomplished my journey. I accomplished and overcame the struggles that I had within myself, the feeling of guilt, the feeling of not being enough, the feeling of hiding from myself a lot of times.
How did you do that?
How did I hide from myself?
No, how did you heal from that?
Oh, he's saying, my wife showed me what unconditional love was. After everything I did, And after everything she went through with me, she never stopped loving me. And she never judged me. She wasn't happy. I made her miserable sometimes, but she never stopped supporting me. And after being addicted for a very long time, I felt like if she can love me that much after everything that I've done and after everything that I felt I did to her that she did not deserve, then I can sure as hell love myself and heal myself so I can return the favor and love her in that same unconditional way. Now, it took me some time to get there, but that was what sparked that little seed in my head, he said, was her unconditional love. That's what did it for me. And I did prove to her that I loved her. I never stopped loving her. I was just lost within myself, and that was expressed in things that hurt her, in other relationships, and in drugs, and in hiding from life in a way. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what love can do to you. Love cured me. The love of my wife cured the love within myself. And when that happened, everything fell in place. Everything became peaceful and balanced. And so I died a happy man, he says.
That is wonderful. Love truly does conquer all.
It does.
Right? It does. It does.
He says, when it comes to love, he says, I know a lot of people struggle when they are in love with somebody and that person is not in love with them. He's saying, what you do is you start with loving yourself. And then he says, you will see the truth, whether you really love that person or whether you love that person because you want that person to heal you. A lot of people fall in love with people because they can't seem to heal themselves and they expect others to heal them. If a relationship is based on please heal me, it'll never work. And so that desperation of healing can blind you of a relationship. And it can give you the sense that you are madly in love with this person. But when that person does not feel the same about you, you can't force it. And you have to accept that maybe, just maybe, your perception might not be right. Because when the universe knows that when you're supposed to go into a relationship, you will go into that relationship for a reason. It will happen. But when it doesn't happen, and he's saying, I help people with relationships like that. I see people, he says, who hold on to a person 10, 20 years, and that person is happily married and moving on with his life, and the other person is completely miserable, destroying their own life because they have made another person as their savior. They're supposed to save them, and so in a way they become very demanding on the other person, and that is self-destructive. Start by loving yourself, and then see if the relationship's still that attractive. You will notice that when it's not mutual, it's just not meant to be. And when you love yourself, then you will attract that person who was meant to be for you. So don't try force love.
Right.
Instead, grow it within yourself, and love will flow to you. You won't even have to beg. You won't even have to look for it. It will just appear in front of you in the most, unexpected way. And those are the relationships that will last forever and ever, he says.
I love it. Be it and you'll attract it.
Exactly.
Beautiful. You're just a ball of love, Ray.
He is. I want to take him home. Should we take him home?
I think he's already in your home, honey. I can see this light all around you. You got a Ray halo going on there, a Ray and Adam halo.
I got two beautiful men here.
Yes, you do. Here. That's amazing. I think both of those men think you're pretty beautiful too, honey.
Oh, well, I think everybody's beautiful. So that's how I try to see.
Yes, we are.
Well, you should sing. Adam's going, come on, Mom.
Let's do the wave. Yeah, you're going to be asking me not to.
He's going, come on, Mama, where's that self-love that we just talked about? Anybody can sing. You might sometimes have to put some earplugs in, but it's all beautiful, he says. It's all beautiful. It's all love.
It's lots of fun.
That's what it's all about, Mama. Love. And he says, I just want to tell everybody who's watching, I love you. Okay? He's saying you're not alone. So love yourself, because guess what? He says, everybody has a loving team around them. You're never alone. You're never disconnected from the source or from God or whatever you want to call it, he says. So you are constantly connected to love. So just all you need to do is acknowledge it, he says.
Just
don't hide from it, run from it. Acknowledge that it's there. Whether you feel it or not, it's there. Because I can guarantee you, it's definitely there.
Try to feel it. Try to feel it. Yesterday I was sitting in the backyard and I heard this caw, caw. You know, I love the crows. I'm like, yeah. So when I hear the crows, I'm like, oh, there's spirit around. And then as soon as I say that, then this breeze kind of enters where I am, but I'm looking out, seeing that none of the trees are moving. So, you know, just like what he was saying. And then I swear I felt, maybe that's why I put him over here. I felt like a tap on my shoulder. And I'm like, Adam.
Yep.
Was that you?
That was me. He's also saying that he does send animals towards you.
He does.
It's almost like, you know, he was very deeply connected with nature.
He was.
He was very concerned about, you know, animal health and things like that. Like he hated people who would hurt people. He says, I don't hate you anymore, but I know there's a purpose to everything. But he's saying, you know, in my human life, it would really get under my skin.
You know, he had a very, very tragic experience. He worked as a bartender at a resort called Lost Isle in the Delta Islands. And there was a shooting there. There was a deadly shooting there. There was a young man shot to death. And Adam had to clean up his blood.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So what do you want to say about that, Adam?
He's saying, well, that was an experience that really did something to me, he says. I don't wish it upon anybody, but it really, at that moment, he says, it really made me think about how fragile life really is, that it could be over in a jiffy, it could be over at any moment, and that he says, somebody taking another person's life, it's almost like there was this spear going through my heart. Like, how could somebody do that to another person? You know, they're all somebody's child, he says. You know, that's what went through my head. You know, This person probably has a family. You know, he probably has a mom and a dad. And, you know, and when they were, it's almost like when they came and got the body or something like that. He's kind of showing me how they're like taking this person away. He kind of felt sad because it almost felt like everything you've built your life towards to, everything, you know, all your dreams and your hopes and your sense for life, you know, trying to be happy, trying to find that balance, you know, it could be taken away by anybody.
Right.
So he's saying, it made me understand that we need to be more appreciative for life. We need to, he says we really need to understand that taking somebody's life is not just taking the body. You're affecting more than just that one person that you killed. You're affecting so many people who will be grieving, who will be going through trauma, who will be going through years and years of trying to wrap their minds around the idea that somebody took their son or somebody took their father.
Yeah, for sure.
This doesn't just affect the person that you might have a struggle with. This doesn't just affect, a person that you might hate. It affects the universe in a very negative way, because it brings the energy of so many people down to a point where, some people don't even recover from it. Some people never have the strength to recover from it. And what that does to the universe, the effect, the ripple effect that causes is enormous. So don't take your life lightly, and don't take other people's life lightly. Don't ever do to other people what you wouldn't do to yourself. Shooting another person, killing somebody else is like killing yourself.
Right.
It's the same thing. Because that person, you might have disliked him at that moment, but that person might have been your mother in another life, or it might have been your brother or your child. If only we could see, he says, if we as humans would come into the world remembering all our relationships with one another, nobody would get killed, because we'd be like, oh, well, that was a friend and he was that. And, if we could see, he's saying there's and he's saying this is kind of a little bit off the topic, he says, but, there's even experience where people are like, well, I'm not too fond of Germans and I'm not too fond of these. People who really have judgments over certain people on the planet. Well, I don't really like these, and these are kind of stuck up, and these are that. And then they look at their DNA and they say, well, you were actually one of them. Your family was in that country, and that country, and that country. Yep. If we could do the same thing with all our past lives and future lives, people would be like, oh my God, I don't like you in this life, but you were a good guy in the other life. I liked you then.
Yeah.
We would see the love connections that we all share, and he says violence and pain would be reduced so much, because we would understand that, whatever we don't get done in this life, we'll try it again in another life, we would have that certainty. And because people don't have that certainty, he says a lot of people believe in the spiritual way of viewing the world, and a lot of people want to experience that unconditional love, but we also always want proof in order to, say, yes, that's how it is. We want to believe, but we don't fully trust it.
Right.
He says, trust the universe around you and trust yourself.
Have faith.
Yeah. Treat other people like you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Because if you express that to others, you will receive that back. If you express hate or can be, destructive towards others, guess what? You'll probably receive that back.
Right.
Because that's what you're sending out to the universe. So don't let your hate get you stuck in a circle of bad energy. Share your love, even with people that you don't like. Send them love. If people are mean to you, it's because they're not feeling good within themselves.
True.
So instead of adding more fire to the fire, send them your love, and you say, I'm sorry you feel bad, and I'm sorry you feel in such a way that you feel like you need to attack me, but I'm going to love you anyway. And I can guarantee you, he says, they're going to be like, what do we say to that?
Hurt people hurt people. And healed people heal people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So he says, start healing the hurt ones. Let's flip them around. Let's help them with their energy.
Beautiful.
Let's help each other and create a better world, not just for us, but for everybody.
That's a wonderful message. Ray, do you have any last words you'd like to leave us with?
He's saying, find love in everything in your life. There's love to be found in every little detail that surrounds us. Love yourself, love what you do, and love others, and all will be good, he says.
That's a beautiful message. And that's a wonderful note to end on.
He's saying, thank you so much for allowing me to come through with Adam today. He says, I feel really blessed, and I can feel your love. He says, I can feel it. So thank you.
Ray. You are very welcome. I'm very excited that you invited your friend John Lennon to come along, and he asked for his own show.
John has a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I cannot wait. It was quite an honor to feel him around me a few weeks ago, and then to find out it was because he was going to be coming to visit. I bought Adam a little tiny music box, this little bitty thing that you crank, and it plays Imagine. I got it for him at a gift shop in Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco.
Yeah. And it's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Isn't it?
My favorite song.
It's a beautiful song. So, Adam, before we end, got a question for you. All of a sudden, people are loving these interviews. They're loving the visits. They're loving everything about what you're doing. And, our book isn't ready yet. People don't know about Adam. They're like, we want to know more about Adam. So, what do you have in mind for that?
So we can also have like a session where, we just kind of talk, mother and son, he says, just kind of explaining a little bit about our lives and about our journey together and about, he's saying some of our past journeys and future journeys and, just so people get to know us and
okay, we can do that.
I'd love to do that. He's just making me feel like, we could do like a session or something short, just to kind of, it's almost like he wants to have this session with you. And so you can tell your perspective of, what his death did to you. And we start out, he says, with, who I was as a child a little bit and, how I grew up and some of the struggles that I went through and all the way up to my death and then, your journey. He's saying, I think your journey is more incredible than my journey, he says. I think the way that you've dealt with my death and the way that it changed your perspective on a lot of things, that's where he says that's where the beauty is, that's where the lessons are, that's where the positive energy is in. But again, he says just look at my buddy Eric. He teaches people, he gives explanation, and I want to be pretty similar to that. I want people to know that, hey, I died like this, and, this happened to me, and I was this kind of person, and, how I was very creative and things like that, and things that interest me. But what's most important and what's going to help more people is how you dealt with my death, how you made it part of your life purpose to spread messages, to bring awareness to people and to help people in that way. That journey is more valuable than my short little life, he says, of me being a goofball and me, struggling sometimes with my own identity and things like that. But it is important that people kind of know, oh, okay, so he's her son and he, he was like this and, and he died in this way. And he's saying, Eric, if you read Eric's book, it's not all in detail either. He likes to keep that positive vibe around him because he knows that is the most beneficial to spread the word, to spread the messages, to help people. He says, whatever people need me to be for them, that's what they will find. What matters is that I'm helping them and that I get these messages out of love and compassion, and I get to show what a beautiful, courageous mother I have, he says. Because you can be somebody to look up to for people who have lost their child. You can be that role model that, hey, life doesn't need to end when you lose your son. Relationship continues, just in a different way. You can be that person that people look up to and say, you know what, you saved my life. Thank you for that. And that's what I want it to be. It's not just about me, Mama. It's about you. this is your journey. I'm just a part of it. He says, you know, but it's really your journey. You know, that's what it's about. So never forget that.
Was this was the part of my soul contract, wasn't it?
He says, yeah. He says, my sacrifice, in a way, it was to push you in a direction that would help thousands of people.
Am I doing okay?
He says, you are. Don't doubt yourself, Mom. It's got God. Always like rolling his eyes. God, there she goes again. Ask for confirmation.
Well, I'm just a little tiny human with all my human flaws.
He's like, blah, blah, blah. You're perfect in every way, and you know it.
Oh, thank you.